about 200 years ago, there was a great movement in our society to try to reach what, in their view, was perfection. And in their view, that meant physical kind of perfection. We kind of use the word normal around that concept now, that everybody can walk and everybody's eyes are straight and everybody can learn to read and so on and so on. And that was about the same time that people began to understand about germs and about genes and about some basic physiological kinds of things. So they thought that if they could take the handicapped people out of society, then the handicap would come out of society and people could reach perfection. Well, it was just wrong, obviously. Taking the handicapped people out didn't change the fact that there were still difficulties for people to deal with in society. So, but it's taken us about 200 years to catch up to the idea of, wait a minute, maybe this kind of vulnerability is positive as well as negative. At this point, a lot of people are still very, very frightened of their own weaknesses, their own vulnerabilities, partly because they're afraid that they'll get segregated if they admit that they have them. So there's the macho kind of thinking and the tough guy kind of thinking, and let's not let down, let's be private about our own problems, our own troubles. And that means that we live in a society that doesn't share very much, because it can't let down its guard very much. So given that kind of society, when somebody comes along and asks for assistance or clearly is vulnerable, then they call to our weaknesses and our vulnerabilities. And if you're afraid of that, then you're afraid of that person. So that there's a reaction, let's get rid of this person. Not let's deal with our own feelings, but let's get rid of this person. And you see, when we can integrate an environment like a school, or a community like a school, then you can see a radical change. Children are much more able, because of their early history, if you like, they haven't got that much story yet, that they're much more easily able to turn around and say, wait a minute, being able to face the fact that we all need each other is not so bad.
How do you start?
I believe that the best way to start is with the children. To go to children and say, we as adults have made some mistakes. We have set up society so that people are separated from each other. That means that they don't have the chance to offer what's unique about themselves to each other. We now see that's not right, and we're asking you, children, to help us learn how to bring people together better. And children have fantastic ideas.
What is a friend? So it's the first question. Think about it. What's a friend?
It's a person who hangs around with you because he wants to be your friend or something like that.
Great. Okay. What's a friend?
You can trust and depend on.
A person you can trust and depend on. Okay. What's a friend?
A person that you can get into fights with, and they'll accept you'll always make up.
I like that. Good. How about you?
And that you can share the things with.
Okay.
Someone that takes you for what you are and doesn't expect anything from you, just like your friendship, that's all they want from you.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
That you can tell your deepest secrets to. Someone who you can know that always will be there and will never leave you or forget about you if they have another friend.
In this school, something special happened this year. And let's let the chief boss tell us what change happened in this school this year.
Aside from a few guys like Danny getting a different haircut, we decided that all kids at our school belonged everywhere, not in one section of a school or one classroom, but everywhere. Everybody has equal rights at our school. And
does anybody else have anything to add to Brian, or Mr. Cullen, as you call him?
Why did we have them in a group in the special classes before this year?
That question has been asked of me, and I guess I have to answer honestly the same answer I given before. It's like the Bell Canada commercial. We're not sure.
I'm sort of glad that we have handicapped kids around us because like we're teaching them stuff that they might not have known, like, and then they're also teaching us stuff that they might have learned before.
Oh, that's great. Anybody else have any comments about that? Thanks.
And like they're making us be more responsible because like we're watching over them and trying to help them do better things.
Great.
Like ever since I became friends with Richard, we're always talking and fooling around. So, like, they're no different than from the rest of us, just maybe on the outside.
Okay.
Well, I know that we have a circle of friends, and it's really helping people who need the people to count on them. But I think that we shouldn't have just specific people to help them. We should all give a helping hand to everyone. We shouldn't just have you do this, you do that, and some people don't even have someone that they can help. So we shouldn't be having that. We should all help together.
Okay, Samita, what's happened to you since September when you broke out of the special classes?
Well, I've learned that they're a lot like us, and they've taught me a few things, and I've become friends with them.
Okay.
Like before, I used to think that people that are handicapped or they don't know much. They just sit there going like this, and then now it's like May and them. They're different. I didn't think they're like that. They're more normal.
Yeah, just like you, right? We got some people in the back row there.
When I
Okay.
first met May last year, I didn't say much to her and everything, but now I just go up to her and talk to her.
So far in this year, she's starting to feel like one of the crowd. And if she was here, she'd think that everyone was just looking at her and talking about her, and she wouldn't feel like she was anyone else. She'd feel like she was different. She didn't belong.
Okay, when Brian said that we were all scared, in September, hang on a minute. When Brian said we were all scared, what were we scared about? May's going to come into this classroom. I want to know, what do you think we adults were scared about?
We wouldn't know how to act or how to be like around them.
Okay.
Like she might not have any friends.
Some of the things that our kids here are saying were the same fears I had as a principal of the school. I guess I had the added dimension, two added dimensions. One, how would other teachers, how would our staff react to this change? Because it was fairly significant change, and change doesn't come easily. So we had to think about that. So I was scared about that. Mm-hmm. I was probably more scared than anybody. If the truth be known in the entire school, I was the most scared of anybody.
Scared that we couldn't handle all the different kinds of programming in one room. Scared that we would have kids who couldn't cope with having different kinds of kids. Scared that I would lose program for regular kids and maybe not have everything in place. And that's the fear of the unknown.
Okay, so, and what happened?
It worked.
Did the fears go away?
Yeah, for me they have.
Okay.
Very definitely.
Okay, now, next, I'm gonna shift gears on you for a minute. Something very, very unique is happening today. Mr. Gorman invited his father, right? Wow!
We should give him a clap.
I want to know why you're here today.
You really want to know?
I really want to know.
I wanted to see how you did it. I wanted to see whether you manipulated kids or whether you got honest answers from them and honest responses and what it added up to.
What do you think?
I'm happy.
What do you think of the kids' responses?
Well, I think if I'd have tried to get them from kids in my generation, it wouldn't have been possible. I think I'm really looking at a different kind of kid, if you want, a kid from a different world. The responses are so general and so open and so honest that...
Yeah, I think it's just fabulous that you're here and that there's a teacher that would think enough of inviting his father. Randy?
Last year when May was in our class for like some of the time and then she'd go back to the life skills,
then this year she came and she was in here and she's really changed, and sometimes for the better and sometimes for the worse. No, like I mean, like she has really changed us, and like she tells you to shut up now and get out of town and all this, and she goes.
That's great. How else has she changed? This is great.
Well, I figured that they're trying to change her to be good and be nice and act like everyone else, but not everyone else is good. Not everyone else is nice, so she has to act like everyone else. So she fools around and stuff, but that's still good because she's learning how to be normal.
Before, May didn't know what to say to us sometimes. Like, you could tell she just didn't know what to say. Now, she has no problems with that. Like, she talks to us now.
Okay, now I'm going to switch the question. Never mind what she's learned. What have you learned? What have you learned by having May here?
That she's a lot smarter than I thought she was.
Great.
That she has feelings like everyone else. She doesn't, well, how am I supposed to say this? If she has feelings, if she gets hurt, she'll tell people. She won't just keep it bottled up inside. She'll act like everyone else, and she's a person, not just a thing that you're supposed to be nice to. An actual person like everyone else.
Great. Jen, what have you learned?
What have I learned? That these kids, all the kids in the school, that all kids are more accepting than we adults ever give them credit for.
Yeah, that's what I learned. Okay.
I learned that she can cope with her problems, that she can go along, like just keep up with the rest of us.
Great.
In her work.
Was it a good thing that we closed that special class? How many think it was a good thing? Why? Why? I want to know why.
Because May's made lots of more friends that she had. And she's happy.
Great, because she's happy. Great.
It'll give her a chance to be more normal, like, you know, to have the same feelings as the rest of us, you know, not always, just sitting there talking to everyone. Well, now she can, more like.
Great.
Because she wouldn't feel so trapped. Like, it would seem trapped if you're around people that are exactly like you, when you'd want to be around people that are different so that you can learn their different things.
Great, you haven't had a turn.
It would feel like the teachers were your friends and not the kids.
You mean in the special classes? That's very, very smart.
Well, like, should learn our way instead of, like, being with the other kids. Should learn more how to cope with life with us than in the special class, the other kids.
So what was she learning in the special class? What do you think she was learning
Mostly
there?
nothing.
Pardon?
Mostly, like, not nothing, but not like us. Mostly a different kind of a world.
When they were there, that class used to go on lots of trips. They went to the circus and they went camping and they went horseback riding. And they were experiencing that with a whole bunch of people with themselves. And I think that they should have been going with a class like anybody else so that they could have experienced with everybody.
When they were in life skills, they were babied and treated like they couldn't do anything. But here they're treated like everyone else, so they can become more independent and take care of themselves and not have someone come and do things for them and say, oh, it's okay, and baby them and stuff like that. Now they don't have to worry about that. They can be themselves and do what they want to do.
Why are you laughing?
Because I was thinking that 2 months after I got here last year, and now they're thinking the same things I was thinking, only they were too nice to ever say anything to me last year, and now they're feeling very free to say that this year, and I'm really proud of them.
Yeah. How do you feel having Mr. Cullen and Mr. Gorman and Jen listening to you?
Well, even if they're adults, they're just like us, so they're probably...
Okay, I got to switch you into the circles. David's going to draw 4 circles. And in the first circle, David's drawing 4 little boxes. The first circle are the people that you feel really, really close to. I want you to just talk to your neighbor, just your neighbor, you know, a little bit of buzzing for about 2 minutes. I want you to tell people who's in your circle and why.
Well, I have my family and one of my favorite cousins that I know I can talk to. But also I think that myself, I should be in it too, because I can think with myself and I can write things in my diary and figure things out by myself, and it's
great.
Someone too.
That's great. Okay, Susie's going to tell us who she's got in her second circle and why she put them there. Okay?
Okay, well, first I have my good friend Nancy because she knows me pretty well, and if I say something stupid, she won't make fun of me. And I got my cousin Carla because she's someone that I can't really get along with sometimes, but I'm really glad that she's my cousin because I can talk to her. And I got my good friend Tina because she'll understand what's wrong with me, and she won't try to make me feel bad, and she won't call me names or put me down and stuff like that. And I got my favorite Aunt Maria because she's bigger than me, of course, and and she understands life a bit more than me. She can teach me things that I don't know yet.
When you say set up a circle, what's that about?
Well, very often what people who are disabled experience more than anything, really the crux of segregation, is the breaking of relationship. Taking somebody out of a natural environment of relationships. And relationships include very close ones that you don't have to earn, that you just have sort of naturally with people who love you regardless of what you do or where you go. And then there are other relationships that are friendly, and then there are other relationships that are basically relationships where you work or interact or participate. And then there are other relationships that are more paid relationships. But we have a wide net, ordinarily, we have a very wide network of relationships in our lives. And what happens for someone who is disabled is that that network of relationships gets broken down. And so that almost the only relationship that may be in the lives of a person who's labeled handicapped are the very, very close ones, one or two, and then a whole bunch of paid people, and nothing else.
In the fourth circle, what I want you to think about is people who get paid to be in your life. A teacher. Very, very good.
Doctor?
A doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Elizabeth Malik. Okay.
Dentist?
The dentist. Okay.
Well, I might not have this, but a shrink or a psychiatrist?
A shrink or a psychiatrist if you have one, right?
Maybe if you're having family problems, a social worker?
A social worker.
So building a circle is an activity that helps people to feel that they have a commitment to that person, that it's okay to have a commitment to that person, that it's an activity which is specifically designed to create the opportunity for people to have new relationships, to bring people in who need an invitation.
Before we integrated people, the lives of most people with what we call handicaps or disabilities, or now we call it challenging needs, look something like this. Okay, that's what does this tell you? Think about this. This is a tough question. What does my drawing tell you?
That their life must have been hard. They might felt like they were in some sort of jail or something. They felt like they couldn't talk to anyone who was not disabled or not their parents or someone paid to be with them. They felt that they would be known weird or some kind of
Okay, good.
alien.
What does my drawing tell you?
They didn't have many people in their life.
Okay. If your life looked like that, if you had maybe your mother and your father, and then you had social workers and doctors and psychiatrists, I want to know how that would make you feel. One word.
I think I needed to get away.
Is that one word? That's okay. One word or a few words?
Empty. I would feel empty and lonely.
Good.
She said lonely.
Okay.
Stupid.
Good.
And I want to die.
You'd want to die.
Old.
Pardon?
Old.
Old.
Oh, I was thinking
Okay.
you want more
You'd want more
friends.
friends. What our goal is to fill up May's circles so that her life looks more like your life. What advice do you have to give us about the whole question of integrating May or any other student into the school? Do you have anything you want to tell me or tell Mr. Gorman or tell the world?
Just treat them the same as everybody else, and then they won't feel left out.
Okay.
They're just the same.
Okay.
They're human beings, like us.
How do you feel about what you just heard?
perceptions I never dreamed existed.
Yeah. See, you are teaching all of us adults what is possible. And we can only say thank you for teaching us. Any final words?
They need us as much as we need them.
What you've just been watching here is the development of a new system of education. A system of education built on a new set of expectations, a new set of assumptions. It's not just a change system, it's a new system. The old system, in fact, was designed to prevent exactly what we're trying to do. Education was never intended to resist or reject. It was always intended to enlighten and liberate and to, in fact, examine unexamined life. So what this process is all about is bringing all of our people together in the educational process to learn from one another, to share. And I'm thrilled with the way it's turning out. Children and adults working together in what we're calling inclusive community, learning together how to be better citizens, leading us all towards a better world.
I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. Everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I never found anyone who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be. And so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I'll live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Because the greatest love of all is happening to me. I found the greatest love of all inside of me. The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them
No, those children are our future. And wouldn't it be a great tragedy if any one of them was resisted or rejected by a school system? Education is a people process. Let's listen to some students and teachers talk about that process.
So all kids here belong, and they belong in every class, regardless of